are listening to the Starter Goals podcast with Jennifer Loading, where extraordinary decisions produce extraordinary results. These are my friends, these are your friends, and they are living the extraordinary. This episode is brought to you by Walt Mills Photographer with Glad Models Agency. If you are in the Dallas or surrounding area and looking for some photography work, check out Walt Mills. You can learn more about him and his work at photosbywalt.com. All right, today is a great day to be brave. You might as well start now. You have the power to change your circumstances any day you decide. Let today be that day. Rise up, be amazing, be you, do you. All right, my friends, I am super excited to welcome my guest to the show today, Brianna Ruelas. She is a Dallas-based performing artist consultant, reality TV music coach, online course creator, and the best-selling author of Make Reality TV Your Reality. This is awesome. As a singer and performer for 30 years, Brianna has studied internationally and performed all genres from jazz to rock to pop, received a BA in theater arts from Pepperdine University, and spent years honing her musical theater chops. I love this. After graduating college, Brianna departed from the theater to pursue music as a solo artist and also worked as a commercial voiceover actor. Brianna has fronted her own rock band and experienced the reality television craze in its early days as a top 100 finalist on American Idol Season 4. Acting as a restaurant owner with husband Victor Hugo has also been a huge contributor to Brianna's entrepreneurial journey, and she passes along these business strategies to her clients. Brianna is passionate about supporting her clients to reality singing show success and leveraging that experience to ignite their music careers. So amazing. Welcome to the show, Brianna.
Yes.
Now we can get really excited.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Super excited. Okay, so what I want to do, we just said a lot of stuff right there, and I know my audience is going to be super excited. But first of all, I do have to say this. Brianna was on our show back, I want to say earlier, it was like in the beginning of the year. Am I correct?
Yes.
And so she's done, yeah.
I guess like before all of this nonsense. Maybe January.
Yes, it was before COVID, definitely before COVID had hit. And so since that time, she's written a book, which has been amazing. I've been watching her online and kind of seeing all these things unfold. So I'm super excited to dive into this today, what you've got going on. What I want to do first of all, though, is I want to talk a little bit about what you do, how you serve your clients. Let's talk about that first. Like, what is the thing that you do for your clients? How are you helping them?
Okay, cool. So I work with performing artists. A lot of them are independent performing artists. I help them with online business strategies for their music career. So ultimately, I get with them and we kind of look at all their puzzle pieces. A lot of times these artists have either songs written and recorded, maybe they're launching new music, maybe they have no branding or marketing plan or any sort of social media strategy or any sort of engagement plan in place. We get in there and we sort of like look at all the pieces. I'm a strategist, so I kind of carve out a path for them. I say, okay, here's all your puzzle pieces. They're all over the place. Now we're going to sort of bring it together, tie a little bow around it, and we're going to create a path for you to reach your goals. So ultimately, if they're, launching new music, we'll put together a full-on launch plan in place for releasing the new music, whether it's grassroots press, whether we're going to outsource a publicist, whatever that might be for that particular project. A lot of my clients also can't stand social media, which, a lot of people are adverse to it, and I understand it can be frustrating, but I found a way to enjoy the process and make it simple and make it easy. So I do a lot of social media strategy and engagement strategies with my clients as well. So I absolutely love it. And, I do a lot of this online business stuff for my restaurant too, which is where a lot of this came from. And I had to, again, kind of shift trajectory a lot with COVID. So that's why I wrote my second book. And I like to pass on, like I said, I like to pass on those strategies to my clients because there are ways that we can be reaching either whether you're a business owner and it's your ideal fan or ideal client, or again, if you're a performing artist, reaching your ideal fan. We can do this. Like right now, we can totally do it. So, yeah.
Well, the thing that I love about you too is that, a lot of times when you have somebody that's really creative, it's hard for them to have the strategy part of that, or they're really good at the strategy part, but not so much on the creativity side of things. And so the thing that I really love about what you're doing is you're able to kind of bring that all in, harness both sides of those. And because you've had to also have this business, this restaurant business, but then you've got this creative thing, you've kind of learned to master both those domains. And so I think that is what makes makes you a little bit unique in what you do. And I've watched some of, you on some of the other podcasts, and you are unique. You're kind of a unicorn in your field because there's not really anybody doing that, which makes it kind of fun and just different. So I think what you're doing is awesome, and like I said, I love following your stuff, and even on social media, you've got a lot of really neat things going on. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
I want
It's
to take
fun.
it back a little bit because we got to talk a little bit about American Idol. We did talk about it there because that was your start. That's how you kind of got into
right.
all of this, and so. Maybe tell our audience, some of them are just kind of coming into Starter Girls now and probably haven't seen that first episode. So just maybe walk us through a little bit how that kind of came about for you and maybe, what that experience was like for you, what you learned from that.
Absolutely. So I've been telling a lot of people lately that the American Idol experience for me was a beginning. And this was back in 2005, I think, when I did season 4 of American Idol. And so I thought at the time that it was an end. I thought I didn't make it as far as I wanted to go. It's over. My music career's over. This is my last shot. That's what I believed for so long. And now that I am where I am now, like I've experienced this journey. I've had babies. I have 3 little girls. And then that was the second time that I thought, well, my music career is definitely over because now I'm a mom. So
how are we going to do
how
that?
can I do music if I'm a mom? Which, big fat lie, thankfully, that I figured out. So, I really realized that American Idol experience was the sort of light bulb for me to recognize, oh my gosh, I got something. And I knew that I could sing and I knew I had talent, but to audition with 100,000 people and be one of 100 to make it to those rounds, that's a lot. So for me, I'm like, holy, and I didn't even recognize that. I had my mom had to tell me that, like, Brianna, what is the breakdown? Like, what's the percentage of that? You are
Absolutely.
0.001 or 0.0001 or whatever it is, like percent of the people, made
Right.
it that far. I was like, oh, okay. Well, when you put it that way, that's pretty awesome, So for me, getting on the show, and I got rejected a lot prior. Like I auditioned 3-4 times, I think, before I made it to Hollywood. So the rejection piece was very difficult because, again, I was putting so much on the line for these auditions. I was so hung up on the opportunity, and really truly believing it's my last shot. Right. So one of the things I share often, in fact, I share in my new book a lot, is that this is a beginning. This is literally an opportunity that's going to lead to the next. And that's just like in life, right? Any business opportunity, anything like that. So, I didn't know that at the time, but I teach that now. Like, this is a beginning, and, it's hard, and you have to be mentally in tune. You have to be really, really tough to go through this type of experience because it really is kind of a mind. It'll mess with your mind a bit and your heart. So you have to be very healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, etc. So, for me, I had to get myself to that place, and the experience was amazing. I auditioned in front of Paula, Randy, and Simon. So like OG judges, which I love. And Simon Cowell was super cute in person, which, that was a long time ago. So he was, I guess he's a little older now, but he's still cute.
I love it.
And yeah, it was great. It was just so much fun. I really, it was scary and emotional, and I was not prepared for all the flying cameras and all of that. So that threw me off my game. I made a lot of mistakes, and I talk about those mistakes in my book because I don't want other people to make those mistakes.
That's so good.
I think preparation is key.
Yeah, I know. And I think all this is so good. And I think, I just had this conversation with somebody right before I was coming here about going into opportunities and not seeing things as failures. And so you said you hit upon so many things about how you tie the emotion, and you have to be like emotionally stable going into these. And that's a lot of what I talk about too, is really just telling people that when you go into things, detach the word failure from things. Look at things as opportunities and beginnings instead of going into something and thinking this is all or nothing and this is my last shot. This is the end of, an end all. In reality, I mean, look where you are now and this span that you've had. And that was just, it opened you I guess it opened up all these opportunities for you to be able to take those experiences and be able to pour into other people. So I think it's an amazing thing. And you were giving me chills when you're talking about it, because I'm like, I'm such a visionary. And so when I listen to people, like I was talking to somebody the other day and she was telling me, like, we were doing this whole vision casting thing and she was telling me about her dream. And I was like getting excited for her about her own dream. I'm like, are you excited? Because I'm excited. Like I get excited listening to people when they go through these experiences, because I think it's so, these are opportunities that a lot of people never get to take because they're never willing to take the risk.
To put them up, put themselves out there.
They're never willing to be vulnerable. You know, they want to live in that safe space because they're afraid of failure and they're afraid of being judged. But you miss so many incredible opportunities when you stay in that box.
Even it's boring, right? Like,
Absolutely.
Let's just be comfortable.
Yeah, no.
Let's just like,
Right.
No,
How do you leave your
don't
legacy?
be comfortable.
Yes.
Say no, thank you. Comfortability. What do you call it? Like,
Whatever it is.
whatever.
Yes.
Embrace discomfort. Right.
Yes,
Run to
yes.
it. I love it.
I agree with you. I had this conversation
It hurts
this
sometimes,
morning with my husband. We were talking about, leaving your mark in this world and legacy. And it's like, I said, like, I can't imagine going to the end and like you've just been comfortable forever and not done anything, because that's just so boring.
Boring. Totally boring.
I can't have boring. So good. All right. So tell us a little bit about your new book. We got to talk about your new book, because you got one out already and you just launched your other one. And I know you've been putting it like all over the place because I've seen you working in action. I love it. Brianna does not sit back. She moves. She's a hustler. I love it. I love the word hustler too. I always say that because people sometimes don't like that word. I'm like, that means you're moving. You're making stuff happen.
Hey, I'm taking action. I'm like massive action taker.
That's right. I love it.
Let's
so tell
go.
us about your
Yes.
book. Show us the book.
Cool. So this is the book, and it's so awesome. And it also has QR codes in it. So I utilize QR code technology in it because I wanted to make this an interactive experience for readers. So when you scan the QR codes, it's going to take you to videos with me. It's going to take you to a special interview. In fact, you had Cass Haley on recently, and I have a QR code in here at the back of the book, which is a in-depth interview with Cass Haley on his experience as the runner-up of America's Got Talent. He even endorsed the book, so I'm really thankful for his endorsement and for his participation in the project. This is a bestseller on Amazon, so you can go to Amazon and obviously pick up yours. But this was really cool, and I released this during the pandemic, over COVID. And what happened was I have an online course, which is Make Reality TV Your Reality. It's video tutorials with me, it's resources, it's tools, and it really takes you, the book and the online course take you from the beginning, the preparation, the audition, the mindset, what you need to be doing to prepare, through the middle stage. I like to say this is the middle performance stage. This is where you have to like wow them and get them to turn their chair or give you the golden ticket or whatever it is. And then the last stage, which is the stage that no one prepares for and no one even thinks about. It's to set you up to actually maximize the platform and make sure that no matter when your experience on this show ends, you're going to take advantage of it. You're going to take advantage of the platform. You're going to have all these millions of eyeballs on your audition, on your story, on your reel. So it's building your story. It's making sure that you have a mailing list like started so that you can actually invite people to, get your music or connect with them. It's making sure that you have a social media presence and that you're discoverable so that when people see your audition and they fall in love with you, they search you and they actually find you. They're not like, who is this person? They go to search you and you've got like pictures of cats on, Facebook or something. I don't know. No offense to cat lovers. Okay.
However, have a cat. We're not offending the cat lovers. Right?
If you're a performer and you're a singer, then you want them to show that there's like legitimacy to your craft and to you as an artist. Plus you want to invite them on the journey with you long after the show's over. And that's exactly what I do in the online course. It includes like one-on-one privates with me in addition to all the video stuff. And then the book was basically the course wrapped up in book format. And it was really fun. It's my second book, so it was easier.
Awesome.
It's weird. It's like, the second book was a lot easier, but
yeah,
it really
I think
was.
it's like having kids. Like the first time it's hard, then you go through that, what that experience
I know,
is like.
I know.
You got it all figured out.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Right.
And like when I walked in here and I was like, look at that. Oh my God,
Right?
2 books.
That's right. You probably have
It's
that.
so
You'll get
cool.
enough.
It's so neat.
It's so funny. I was on a show the other day and somebody asked me, like, what was the hardest thing aside from my whole health story? Like, what was the hardest thing I had to go through? And I was like, the book was hard. Like writing the book was hard, and it wasn't because I didn't have the content. Like I knew what I wanted to say. It was more that outlining the content, like how to get it in the right format. So yeah, like after you do the first one, you kind of know what to do when you get the book, how to get it out there. Like I wish I would have known you when I did the first book.
Hey,
I would have had
book
the
2.
strategy. Yeah, I would have totally. Yeah, see, the book 2 would be easier
let's
because
go.
we got it figured out.
Yeah.
So you're so awesome. Okay, so and I love your energy, by the way. That's why I told Chris when our famous camera guy back there, he hides. We're gonna bring him out one of these days. But
What's up, Chris?
I told him that we were gonna have like firecrackers on the show today. I always love it when we get awesome energy driving people in here. It makes it so much fun. So. Fun question I want to ask you. I always love to ask these questions, a mindset question, because I know you're a strategy person. So, and you've gone after different things. So what does this process, we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but I want to really hone in on it. What does this process look like for you when you are tackling something? Specifically, you just launched this book. So what does that mindset look like for you?
Oh, it's laser focused. I mean, it's like eye on the prize, eliminate distractions, don't mess with me, because and it starts with daily success rituals for me. Okay, so it's the 4:30 a.m. I mean, this is like for me, this is what happened on the first book. Anytime I have a big project, online courses, whatever it is, it's the 4:30 a.m. wake up call. It's the make sure I'm at my computer by 4:45. I bust from 4:45 to 6:30, writing, creating, organizing whatever the projects are at hand. At 6:30, my kids wake up for school. So from 6:30 to 8:30 or 9, I'm doing the school thing. I've got 3 girls from 9th grade to 1st grade. So we have staggered times. And then I'm working out. I'm running in between that time at some point because about an hour in between drop-offs.
I love it.
And then from 9 to 9:30, I have my pray, quiet, write, meditate, whatever I do. And then 9:30, I hit it again for a couple of hours. But I'm very focused on creating time blocks of just nothing, of just white, just clear space where I'm either just taking a walk or I'm not doing anything work related. I'm just clearing my head.
Sure.
I religiously take Fridays off. I'm all about the 4-day work week. And I do my best to have that work-life respect, which is challenging, very, very, because I am very driven. I get sick. Like I get physically sick when I push myself too hard. Right. So once I can tell, like my body will literally just start telling me, okay, you got to go
settle down,
go lay down, go rest, go take a nap. Yeah. Don't work today.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Like I know when I'm hitting my stuff. But yeah, that's the morning success ritual is the key. Yeah. Key to my productivity. 100%.
This is so good. I'm like that too. And that's why you and I, it's funny because we communicate a lot early in the morning. And it's so funny. I know like who my people are that are early risers and my non-early risers. And I respect that, that time. But I'm very much like that too. Like I love my mornings. I'm very task oriented. Like I have everything. Like I get up at 5 every day. We walk the dogs. I do my reading. I do my to-do list is always done the night before. So it's ready to go in the morning. So I know what my day looks like. And so I'm like you. I love that morning routine, and I'm very, I don't know what the word, I'm dedicated to it. Like I don't like to do appointments with clients before a certain time in the morning because that, like if I have to, I'm very cranky because I really respect my mornings. And so I can really expect everything that you just said, but I think that's also good listening for people that have young children who are trying to, acclimate running a business and be goal oriented, but also having young children, because I've done that. I've been an entrepreneur since my oldest is now 24. She was 2. And so I've done that with 3 children being very small all the way up and had to learn how to navigate around that. And so it is a challenge at times to be able to, be there for them and also do what you're doing. But I think the calendar blocking you're saying is huge.
Yes, absolutely. And 100%. The planning. So the calendar planning. So I actually have a planning party every Friday. I have a set time every Friday. It's either the 5 a.m. planning party or it's the 10:30 a.m. because I have a 9 a.m. like every Friday. I meet with the ladies in my village. We drink coffee for 2 hours and talk about everything but politics. No.
Yes.
And that's my time to plan the next, like the week ahead.
Yeah.
And so that Friday, I have my planning. So I know exactly day to day what I'm doing the next week. And it's
That's so
done.
good. I
It's
love it.
totally done.
You are a
So,
great strategist.
Thank you.
I'm sure your clients love you because I love it. I'm like, you got it. I remember the first time we got on a Zoom and you're like, so what do you need help with? And I'm like, oh, she's on it. She is like, what do you need
How
help
can
with?
I support you?
We're going to strategize this like right now. We're going to figure it out. I love it. I
right.
love
Get
it.
in
All
there.
right. It's so awesome. Okay. So in Brianna's words, how do you define success? What does that look like to you?
Ooh, thank you. That's a great question.
One of my favorites. Besides the rapid fires, it's one of my favorites.
Look, this has changed for me since this summer because I had to think about, okay, for this book, for example, for my online course, what will make this successful for me? So publishing it, is that a success? Yeah, it probably is. But for me in my head, I had to go, okay, but what's it going to take for me to actually feel successful with this book launch? And I finally learned, and it took me a really long time because in my brain, the old me might say, oh, success is, I'm 100% out of debt, or success is I can buy this car whenever I want, or it's like very like monetary,
Right.
like monetary success. Now, yes, I have monetary or financial goals, but my success is really growth. It's all about, did I learn something? Am I growing? Am I evolving? Am I living into my purpose? Am I giving with heart and loving others and sharing my talents in a way that's serving others, right? So, that's, to me, that's success. And I can honestly like believe and say like, wow, I am totally successful.
Yes.
Like I actually believe that versus, and not in a weird way of
Right.
like, oh, look at me, I'm so successful.
No, I get it. I
like,
100%.
but
I think you and I share that.
yeah,
I totally
it feels
get it.
it feels really good to know that like I know that there's specific things like when I'm telling someone, dude, you really need this book, I know it's going to help them.
Right.
Like that feels really good. Or if I know I can coach them or help them with something, I'm going to tell them like, I know I can help you with this. There's no doubt in my mind. This is not about me getting another client, although I would love to get more clients.
Sure.
However, this is about me knowing in my heart, like and soul, like, oh, I can totally help you. That's so exciting. I can't wait. Like, let's do this,
You got me chills, girl. Oh my God. It's like you have your superpower. Like you
Yeah.
own it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's so
No,
fun.
and I'm with you 100% on that. That is the things when I'm coaching people all the time. This is what I talk about. It's owning your gifts. It's owning what you have enough that you believe in yourself enough that it's no longer scarcity mindset, because you're not thinking from the perspective of, oh, I'm trying to gain another client. You're going to gain a client by being you and being authentic and being
That's right.
raw, right? You're going to
Yeah.
gain the client by telling them what they need to hear to succeed or whatever that is, right? It's not, and so I think it's really about just having that confidence to be, okay, like instead of saying, I'm a strategist, it's here's what I can do for you. I'm going to help you win. I'm going to help you
right.
succeed. That's the difference,
Yeah.
right? And oh my goodness, you got me chills.
Yes.
I love it. I love
Me
it.
too.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to maybe go into this area, reality singing, or maybe just pursue a dream, like something, what kind of advice would you offer them? Like what would come to mind that you would say to this person to go pursue this dream?
Have a very, very clear vision. It's like so we call it the horse stable theory. My grandfather growing up would always say, Brianna, when I was building the horse stable, he had a ranch in California. When I was building my horse stable, which he built with his own hands, I knew, I envisioned what that was going to look like. So I had a very clear vision of what my horse stable was going to look like. And then I went and built it. And so that's what he said. You have to have a very clear vision of where you're headed, what you're after, and what it looks like. And I always say, like, you should know how do you want to feel?
Yeah.
So, like, not just what your life looks like or what, like, if you want to go on American Idol or The Voice, okay? Envisioning yourself there, what's it going to take? So having that plan of action, being prepared, and surrounding yourself with support to prepare you. Like, stop trying to do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people that can help you. Invest in yourself. Get the support you need to get to where you want to go. But be clear on what you want and how you want to feel.
That's good.
Because
yeah.
People don't take the time
Right.
to really ask them that question or ask themselves that question and answer it honestly. Well, I want to be on the show. Okay, but why?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be on the show? And how is that going to make you feel? And how's that going to impact your life? And if you don't go on the show, what's going to happen? And so it's like all of these questions that a lot of people don't want to take the time to answer because it's work.
Right.
So do the hard work.
No, that's good. You said so many great points there. I love it. Okay.
I sort of ramble.
No, it's
Rant.
good. No, it's good because that's it. And people do. Sometimes they have these visions that they want to do this, but they don't even really know why they want to do it. It just sounds great in theory.
it's fun. Oh, it'd be
everybody else
fun.
is doing it. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. But no, I think the point there, or one of the things that I gathered from that, is when you get crystal clear about where you're going with something, you don't really have to know all the hows on everything. When your passion is there, you will find a way to make it happen, because it's where you put that focus. I always say you subconsciously start doing things that support that, and that's why you'll find, like, when people get hung up on things that they don't want, the behaviors still keep going on because they're hung up on what they don't want. You notice that? Like, they'll keep saying what they don't want, and yet those things keep playing out in their life over and over and over. And that's why I always tell my kids.
Because of the focus.
Yes. So I always tell my kids, I don't want to hear what you don't want. I don't want to hear what's not working or what you don't want. What I want to hear is what you want, because what you want, we can work on. Because as long as we keep talking about what you don't want, we're going to keep having that play out. You're going to keep doing behaviors that support it. So it's really where you put the focus. But I love the whole idea, have the vision. You got to get crystal clear on that. And I agree with you on that 100%. You've got to know what that feels like.
And that's why you vision cast. That's why you create vision boards. You want to like see before you, this is what I'm after. This is what I'm going for. And they're very powerful. My vision boards for the past 2 years, holy smokes. I'll send them to you. I mean, it's just.
I would love to look at them.
It is absolutely amazing.
And what's so neat about those things is you'll be amazed. Like, you go back and you look and you see the stuff starts happening. Like, it starts playing out. Right?
Yes.
It's the whole idea that, like, what gets written down gets tracked. We used to say this in my old company, like, what gets written down gets tracked, right? Because when it's just a thought, you forget about it. Like, when you take the time, that's why, like, when I'm out, because I get a lot of my ideas when I'm out walking the dogs at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll be like, and I'm like, I don't have any pen and paper, and I'm walking the dog. So then I have to, like, recite the idea, like, in my head over and over till I get home. So I don't want to forget the idea. And as soon as I get home, I have to hurry up and write it down, because you have to get the ideas on the paper. You got to get them down so you can see them. So good. All right. So we got to do some fun rapid fires now. These are my favorite. Not that these were all really good. You had, like, really amazing answers to all of those. It was good. All right. So, and did we do these last time you were on rapid fire?
I believe we did.
We might have done
Perhaps.
some. All right. So I'm not going to ask you morning or night because you already told us that. We know. So we're going to skip that one.
Okay.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Do you have a dog?
Yes, I have 2.
You have 2? I think I've seen pictures of your dogs. Yes.
I have a new one.
You have a new one?
It's a little, like, rat terrier chihuahua kind of looking thing. It's a rescue.
A rat
He's
terrier
got ears like
little thing.
It's like this high.
Yeah. So it's a COVID dog then.
It's
COVID.
a total COVID dog.
I have a COVID dog too. I have a COVID. I have a
awesome
COVID pit bull, a low brindle, and she's nuts. Like, this morning, I caught her on the back of. You know what she does? You know how when the light on your watch hits the wall and it'll make those and lasers. She goes nuts. So this morning, I'm in
like a cat.
Yes, like a cat. Like, she likes it more than our cats do. So this morning, I'm in there eating my breakfast, and my son's like, "Hey, you got to see Cece." And I look, and she is on the back of the couch, like sitting on the top of the couch, staring up at the wall, like for laser dots. And I'm like, the laser's not out. It's all good. It's crazy.
It's awesome.
All right, favorite food?
Sushi.
I like sushi too. We had sushi this weekend. I love sushi. All right, and if you were stuck on a deserted island, you have food. You have your basic necessities.
Okay.
But what would be the one thing you'd have to have in addition to that?
Music.
Music. I love it. Haven't had anybody say that. That's good. I've had paper, books, Bible, person. I've had a lot of different things. That one's good. I like that. You can do a lot with music. Get creative. You can dance. You can get in your zone. Love it. Love it. All right. And I had one more question. And my character. I had one more question. What did I forget? If you could be any character or superhero for one day, what would you pick?
Ooh. Gosh, this is a hard question. Any character or superhero?
Anything that resonates that you can think of.
Okay, this is going to be really, really weird. I'm going to go with Moana today.
I like that.
I love Moana. I think she is such
so
a
awesome.
beautiful, like, there's something about her spirit and her energy and her soul. And I love, like, her connection with the water.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's just something about her that I love.
That's good. We've not had that one.
That's
have we, Chris?
really
We've had
random.
no
Oh my
Moana.
God, like Disney
We've had no.
Moana.
We've had Felix the cat. I had one that did Xena the Warrior Princess. She could do the laugh even. She's like, do you remember Xena the Warrior Princess? I'm like, yeah, I remember Xena the Warrior Princess. So I love it when I get unique ones that nobody says, because I get like Superman, Superwoman. Like I get the, the cliche ones, but I always love it when somebody gets one that nobody thinks of. That's good. That was good.
Awesome.
All right, Brianna. So this has been awesome. If our listeners wanted to find your book, learn more about you, we didn't talk about the restaurant, but tell us, where do they find everything? Where do they find out where you guys are at?
So find me at briannaruelasmusic.com, BriannaRuelas music.com. And my books, we have the bestseller, Make Reality TV, and Performing Artist Pathway on Amazon, which I'm super, super excited about. And Performing Artist Pathway is definitely that first book that's all about the highs and lows of your music journey. It's a practical guide for you, just balancing life as a creative or life as an artist. So those are the two different books. And my husband and I own Victor Hugo's Dining and Bar in Oak Cliff. So you can check out VH Oak Cliff on Instagram and social media. And then, of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Brianna Ruelas Music.
You're such a rock star. I love
Thanks.
it, Brianna. You are doing so many great things. And I love your energy. Brianna and I talk like almost every single week. We got to be like, see who's got something else going on.
I know.
We
I'm
both
like, let's go,
we
dude.
both like have stuff going on all the time. Like right now I'm waiting to hear back from this reality TV thing that I applied for. I'm like, I made it past like round 2. It's for coaches. It's like this, they're doing
my
these
God,
launches
that's
for coaches.
amazing.
So right before you came in, she emailed and said they don't have the round 3. They're picking 50 people out of the 100. So it was 400 when we started. Then it got down to 150. So I made it to the 150. So now they're going down to picking the 50. So I'm like, by November 20th, hopefully we're going to find out something.
That is so cool.
So, and because you've been there, different
it's
kind
a
of
really
craft,
wild,
different thing,
it's a wild ride.
But it's
That's
so
cool.
You're doing a lot of great things.
Yeah,
and
well,
I love
you are
watching
too, and I
Thank you.
appreciate you. I have nothing but love for you, and you've given me so many different opportunities, and I appreciate you so much. And thank you for
awesome.
having me. And I love this podcast so much. So anything
you.
I can do to support you, I got you back, girl.
Awesome. And we will make sure when this goes out too that we'll get all your social media links and your websites and all there
Cool.
on there tied
Great.
to it as well. So with that, I want to say I'm trying to find my notes to our listeners. Of course, if you enjoy our podcast, please be sure to give us a rating on iTunes and check us out on iHeart and Amazon. Click that subscribe button on YouTube. And I'm going to leave you guys with a few final thoughts here. It's very hard to have ideas. It's very hard to put yourself out there. It's very hard to be vulnerable. But those people who do that are the dreamers, the thinkers, and the creators. They are the magic people of the world. That was by Amy Poehler, by the way, from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, love her.
Isn't that awesome? I love that. I saw that today. I'm like, that is really good. It just fits very well with what we're talking about today.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys remember, in order to live extraordinary, you must start. And that start begins with the decision. You guys take care, be safe, and be kind to one another. We'll see you next time.